at the end of this month of June, USDT will be banned in the European Union. At least that is what the FUD on crypto Twitter. This is of course in relation to the MiCAR regulations. Luckily, we have Unpackers with us, senior global business developer from Bybit, who can shine his light on all this FUD. Welcome, Miet, here in the studio.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's dive straight into it. Should we be worried?
No. So first of all, there's always a solution to everything, right? So coming up for the stable coins, yes, it is true that there are some stable coins that will fall off. They still have until the end of the month to be compliant.
Yeah.
But for exchanges, it's actually the new rules will be set up at the end of the year. So there's still a big gap between now and the end of the year to come up with all kinds of solutions, see which stablecoins will actually be regulated, which will not, and actually adapt to those new stablecoins. So for us, there is still enough time, and we will also always inform the users months in advance what will happen. Yeah.
All right. So is that some kind of a gray period from June till the end of the year?
No, so if you look at the regulations, you will see that there is a certain period where stablecoins have to be have to fill in the forms. Well, that is the end of June.
Yeah.
And exchanges actually will have to comply and will have to follow the new rules at the end of the year. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But I can understand that there is some FUD, right? That's crypto Twitter, right? Always always trying to find new FUDs and new uncertainties.
And we love good FUD, but in this case, it is the European Union, which is the regulator of the world, which basically is not something to make fun of. And for, I think it's over a year or longer even, that it's on their website. I went to their website. It's clearly stated there. Rules start applying as from end of this month. So I thought it was more serious, but you're quite relaxed about it.
Well, luckily I'm a business developer and not head of legal or some kind. So there are far more smarter people within the company that do this every day and see for loose solutions, see the different scenarios. But as of now, there's nothing to worry about, and we can just wait up. And again, Bybit, but I'm sure also the other exchanges, have all different plans. And in the end, also for the regulators with MiCAR, it is always to also protect the users and think along with the users and not try to disadvantage them or try to, do different things with them. So it's also in their interest to make this work. So, nothing to worry about, as I've said. Yeah.
Okay, that's good stuff.
And also me as an investor, I mean, I've heard this tethered FUD since I started in 2017.
You've been around the block, yeah?
I've been around the block for quite a while now. So again, as a person, as an investor, I'm not worried either. No.
Okay, but let's take a step back. And for us, can you, since you've been around the block, can you unpack a little bit of that tether FUD and why in this case they won't be compliant with the rules and regulations? What is it all about?
Well, not being compliant is of course something we don't know yet, right? They still have a couple of days. I mean, they still have the time. But I mean, when I started in crypto in 2017, there was also always this FUD going on, like they're not backed 100%. I mean, you've seen it on Reddit, you've seen it on Twitter.
Yeah.
But in the end, they're there, and everyone's using Tether as the main stable coin. So I guess people trust it. People like to use it. Exchanges like to use it, and they're still here. So I think that's also something worthy to note. Yeah.
Okay, so we will have an exciting couple of months until the end of the year to see what kind of solutions they will come up with this time.
Yeah, and I think if you see with different exchanges such as Bybit, we're listing many more euro pairs, right? We've already listed a couple of euro pairs. One of our competitors has listed way more euro pairs. Also to look at Bitfavo, right? That only has euro pairs. And I tend to believe that for the retail users, looking at USD is something they don't do it regularly, right? Because we use euro here in Europe. So having more euro pairs with better liquidity, which is also a feedback we get from users, it's nice to have more euro pairs, but we need good liquidity.
Exactly.
That's something we also need to work on, and we're doing every day.
How do you do that?
For example, having good market makers that can provide the liquidity in the order books. Also, really think along with the users, like what do they want? Do they want more euro pairs or current euro pairs with better liquidity? And that's something we're also going to work on in the next couple of months. Yeah.
And I also I don't hear a whole lot on Twitter around this. And, when I hear something, it's FUD, and if I hear it all, but sometimes I also hear that it's going to be a push for euro stable coins. I know the euro, the digital euro, but what others are there?
I think there's this company called Stabler. They have a euro stable coin, if I recall correctly. I'm sure there will also be other different stable coins from euro pairs, but again, they have a couple of days to be compliant.
Yeah.
And we are more than happy to see which stablecoins will be compliant and see if we can work together with them to use them. Yeah, but again, that's up to the listing team and the management to see which ones will fit and which ones don't.
Okay, but again, you're not a lawyer, but the ones that are compliant are all basically they are the ones which are issued by almost banks, right? That's how strict the rules and regulations are.
I mean, it also depends, where they're based and which rules they have to follow. And I know there are some stablecoins out there, not naming names, that just don't want to be compliant in a certain region because it will make them lose money or earn less money, which is, I understand, right? They're also businesses. I mean, they make money. You can see the papers. They make good profit. So in the end, it's also up to them to wanting to be compliant or not. And I'm sure they also have some smart people up there in those companies that make good choices on if they have to go through a certain route or not. Yeah.
Okay. So
It will be interesting to see. Interesting times, especially since all of the world is using USDT, or most of the crypto people are using USDT, and then you have a separation between the global liquidity and the European liquidity. But again, Europe is only a certain part of the world, and of course there are many more parts of the world that are also using
this is the first time that I hear this. European global and European liquidity. You make it sound so obvious, but
yeah,
are there different pools?
No, I mean, if you're using the BTC USDT market to trade, you're of course trading with all people from all the world, right? So the liquidity is really good.
Yeah.
But I can assume that if Europe is going to use a different stable coin or not, we don't know yet, they'll fall in a different liquidity pool, right? Because different people will be using that stable coin. Yeah, right. And I can assume that the rest of the world will still be using, the stable coins that are out there right now. So it's something interesting to look at. Yeah, but again, no FUD. I think it's also...
Damn.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Again, I thought we had some good fun, but in the end, it will sort itself. That's how it looks like.
As always, right? All the fun in
the show must go on.
The show must go on, and it's like everything in the past, with all the bans or this and that. In the end, we're still here, right? We survived a couple of cycles, and we're still here.
Yeah,
we're still here.
Question from my side, curious question. You just mentioned that some stable coins are simply not interested to be compliant for the European market. Is the European market not interesting enough for those guys?
Maybe the rules not. Yeah, maybe the rules are not I mean, I don't know, right? In the end, it's up to them. But Europe is a great market, right? I mean, we're very wealthy here compared to some regions in the world. Right. Yeah. Especially in Netherlands, right? We're very adaptive to cryptocurrencies, to new tech. So there's a lot of win in Europe. But then again, I can assume that having strict rules coming from MiCAR is not everyone is a fan of that, and they might say like, okay, we're backing off.
Yeah. Well, are you a fan of it? Or
I think
it inevitable. It
was inevitable, right? I mean, if I've been in space since 2017, you saw a growth in. On one side, people asking for more regulations. On the other side, there are people saying like, "Oh, but we need to be, how it was, like decentralized and from peer to peer, etc., etc." I also remember a time when we were really scared and not wanting to have institutions in, right? The big guys, and now everyone's cheering for BlackRock and all those ETFs.
They will save us,
yeah, they will save us. So it's really funny how this space is going, and in the end, people just want their backs to be pumped, right? I mean. Yeah, that's one of the most important key features. But I think regulations in some way is good. Also the protection of the users. having more insights for users where they can store their money, where they shouldn't store their money. And as someone once told me, United States is good at exporting defense systems. China is good with tech, for example, and we are really good with regulations in Europe. So we might see different regions in the world also looking at MiCAR and saying like, hey, this might be good, maybe change some things and see if we can use that for our own regulations. So who knows? And on the other side, also, it's also not really helpful if you in Netherlands you can do this, in France you can do this, in Italy like it's one big mess, right? And we're in the end the European Union, right? We should be united. We're a union. So also with regulation, I think that's also a good thing, especially for exchanges, but also for projects or for users knowing that wherever they are in the Schengen, like the Schengen, they have the same regulations. Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
So how you're based out of the Amsterdam office, right?
Yes, so Bybit recently opened their Amsterdam office. We'll actually have the opening party at the end of August during the Formula 1 Zandvoort weekend. Yeah, I mean, that's a big step. We have our headquarters in Dubai, another office in Singapore, and Amsterdam. Well, it's a good place to be here. We have 15 people now working at the Amsterdam office, and I think many more will come.
So your legal team over there is reviewing what is coming your way and how to comply with all of this.
Well, not just for Amsterdam, I think from all over the world. So we have our legal team is from all over the world, and they're reviewing every day with our compliance officers, with our advisors, since it's really important, and also to go for MiCAR, right? Because in the end, you don't want to be left out, of course.
No, and you guys are I think you're taking a pioneer role in complying with all kinds of rules and regulations. I mean, Binance left the Dutch market. There are still enough shady exchanges out there, but you always feel that let's not put too much money out of there because it might not be safe. And you choose for the safe way. Is that by not futures are not allowed here in the Netherlands anymore? Have you seen volume decrease?
Well, of course, certain products gave us a lot of volume, and removing those products will have a decrease in volume. In the end, we did see a increase in users, which is of course fantastic. Because on one side, yes, you're removing some products, but the other side, you can also tell the people we're compliant, we're here. We actually never left, which is also something very important. We have an office here, so with more users, you also see an increase in volume. But on the other side, the market has also been pretty bad in the last few months. So I think it's also not fair to look at the volumes right now and see like, hey, it was better last year, because last year was of course totally different. So we gotta see. But we're happy with the results. Yeah, we truly are. Good. Yeah.
Well, we all grew up. At least I think we all grew up to a certain extent on Bybit. So if you guys are around, and even if it's all the cowboy stuff is gone a little bit, it still feels safe. So I think that's
yeah. Well, before I joined Bybit, I was a partner of Bybit, and with my team, we looked at different exchanges. We wanted to trade on Binance or FTX or Bybit. In the end, we chose for Bybit because, well, yeah,
good choice.
Yeah, good choice. Because Binance left FTX. Because they had the best connection. They had it was very personal. So they just came to you. They really thought with you. They really had a really good partnership program. And that's what I like also working for Bybit. It's so personal. It feels like one big family. Yeah, and sometimes you go to the other exchanges, and I've used to work for example, Binance in 2019, and it feels massive, like really, really big, like a corporate. Yeah. And with Bybit, even though today, the good news, we're now the second biggest exchange in the world.
So you are a corporate, to be exact, yeah.
Inside, it feels like a one big family. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
All right, lovely stuff.
Yeah.
I must say, my behavior on Bybit changed because we're all in the futures, but so in my learning curve at least I sort of took it more calmly, and that's also the phase I am right now. In my whole training game, trying to, to get rid of the dopamine in my blood and going to more towards a sort of relaxed trading style. And for that, the spot, which is still available helps, and it helps me not to overtrade. So I changed the game, but I'm still there.
I mean, my biggest trades and most profitable trades were always on spot.
What was your biggest trade?
So I used to buy Lisk. Lisk is a blockchain project. I bought it back in 2017, and it made me times 40 just on spot, just buying it, holding it, and waiting till it went up. Well, I didn't sell it all, so also crashed down with 98% down. So
Comforting to hear.
Yeah. But no, I think the biggest trades I made is always just buying and holding. Yeah.
Except for, and in the pre-discussion, we already talked a little bit about Biden, Trump, the cats, the dogs with hats. I saw you listed Popcat yesterday, Popcat USDT. So I thought, okay, Bybit isn't really that stressed about the whole new rules and regulations as per the end of this month because they just launched Popcat, so it will be okay. What more do you see changing, let's say, from now on until in the next year in this whole space? I mean, there's so much idiot stuff going on. It must be harming as well, the whole space.
Well, I think we've learned a lot from 2021, right, with the whole NFT space and all. We do see, and also myself, I do see less retail coming into the space and more institutions. With on one side, it's good, right? Because acceptance of the big players. But retail, yeah, like I told you also before interview, I think they're still stuck in ADA, Ripple, and VeChain. I mean, I don't know where they are.
I have a good ADA back still. Yeah. It's going to $3.
Ripple's going
He's
to
still
500,
building.
89. Yeah. Well, let's. I'm there with you. No, I think they're still stuck in those coins. And maybe the people from 2021, they're also stuck in their coins. So I think there's still a lot to win in terms of retail coming in. But I mean, yeah, also with listing new coins, and I think this is for all exchanges. You try to find a way of getting new people to your exchange, listing coins that are popular online, that people are talking about. And of course, it's always a race. Who has the first listing? Where can they go? But on the side, I think also if you look at the MiCA regulation, and again, I'm not a legal expert, I'm not a MiCA expert, but I think there are some things also happening with listings, which coins will be listed and which coins can be listed. So that will be very interesting to see.
What will be happening then? Sort of, if it is.
So I'm not sure, but I think it was. Well, I'm pretty sure there is a guideline in what a project needs to have before it can be listed on an exchange that is compliant with MiCA.
Like doxed founders, that kind of stuff.
I'm not sure, but
In
I
that
mean
area.
those kind of things. In it, I have a white paper that's also credited by a certain party, like those kind of things, which I think is good.
That
Yeah, I think
it's good.
Yeah, I think it's good. I don't know if doxing founders is always a good thing, because I can understand from certain points of view that also having some privacy is also good. Because if you're doxed, you have a lot of lights on yourself. I mean, Satoshi Nakamoto is not doxed, right? So I don't know, but that's something I thought of. I don't know if he would want to take the same steps if he needed to dox himself to put Bitcoin out there. I don't know.
Okay, but that's perhaps, but that's an extreme situation. That's how it all started. But in this case, now, I think the big players not pouring money in a project if they don't know the founders. But okay.
Yes, the big players, yeah.
But okay, that's a whole other discussion. But at least it used to, when we started, we are both IT from an IT background. We sort of argue about, is this a good project or not?
Yeah.
I don't even care anymore. I didn't care a whole lot, but at this point, I really don't care. It's just, is the meme cute? Would others like it? Fuck it, go for it. I mean, why would I care about a certain project, which like ADA, who, for years you already hear, they're building, okay, but in the end, nothing is happening. So why would I even care if it's a utility project or not? Is there volume? Would other people go for it? Jump in it, but it's not healthy.
No, it's. I mean, doing some analysis on what you're investing your money in is, I think, something fair and should be done. Before I joined Bybit, and still up until this day, financial education is one of the most important things I preach about every day. Right, knowing why you should be investing and where you should put your money in. And of course, there are risk investments. There are even riskier investments, right? Dogs with heads, or you name it. Which is not bad to put your money in. Again, everyone likes to take some risk to have a higher upside. But in my personal opinion, I think it's good to make those decisions when you have actually a good portfolio on the other side with some Bitcoin in it, maybe some gold, maybe some ETFs or whatsoever, that you can actually, okay, whatever happens on the other side with my risky investments, I always know that I can rely on my bigger portfolio with more safer investments with a good track record. And the track record is most of the time not 6 months or a year. The longer the track record, the more security you have in your investment, which is also a lower ROI. But if you put your investments in a compounding calculator and see how much you can actually win if you make 11% per year consistently for a long period of time, I mean, it's great. But if you also put in there 1,000% per year, I mean, you see hundreds of millions, which is, of course, not reasonable. So there is something there which people think they can make it, and they try to do it every cycle, but still fail to get that consistency in their portfolios.
Yeah, but you need to bleed first to understand it. That's how we all start. I guess.
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, there are people like you guys, with the podcast, trying to get these stories unpacked and see indeed how we can minimize the losses or the bleeding in those downfalls.
That's what we try to do. It's an open journey.
But to be honest, we make a lot of mistakes. So
Now we're here, right?
we're here.
Do you still
We're
trade?
going there.
So I swing trade. Yeah, so I swing trade. I tend to do look at the weekly chart and do some trades from time to time. I tend to go ×4, ×5 in this cycle, or in every cycle with my total portfolio, and I don't invest in mid caps or in small caps. I only invest in large caps myself. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's slow, it's boring.
Yeah, I would love to have a discussion about the Bidens and the Trumps, but yeah, there's so much. It's not feasible.
No, I've
Especially not with you sort of your busy life next to it. You end up with a certain moment where you think, okay, this is really a mission impossible, and you go sky high, and then the next moment you lost it all.
Yeah, but it's like, why do you trade, right? Because trading takes time, and you don't always see a profit out of it. And I feel like if I put more effort in my career, in my job, in my entrepreneurship, and on the long term, I would get far more out of it than trading at the moment. And I made this decision 7 years ago in 2019. I told myself I will never trade again, and I just started working consistently. And now I'm here. And I think career-wise, it went great. And I think also, there are a lot of people that always tell me, first I want to make the big shot with my cryptocurrencies, and then I'll invest safely, right, into ETFs. But first I want to make this big shot. But I think the best advice I have for people is just earn more money per month, right? Just make yourself more valuable. So what I did is just try to earn more, make myself more valuable, learn more skills. And now I'm making a good chunk of money every month, and I invest this, and this is more profitable for me than trying to go with the lower salary and try to trade and try to find a good winning streak.
Yeah. Okay, but still, you cannot fully detach from putting in some trades yourself and see if your hypothesis was correct and if your setup plays out for a long run.
Well, it
Still,
helps that I'm busy with cryptocurrencies 24/7, so it helps for my position on. But then again, you'll be surprised how little I actually look at the charts. Yeah. So I like to work with, because my job as for Bybit, I work with partners, people on YouTube, people on Twitter, whatever, with all these partners, and they ask a lot of questions. They ask a lot from me, and I like to service them. I like to help them, but looking at the charts afterwards, after a long day, is I mean, I already had too much crypto during that day.
And there's still some private life left.
Yes, my wife would not be happy if I would jump on the laptop going with crypto.
Yeah,
No.
we all know that part.
I'm
Indeed.
sure you guys also know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are these guys also asking you, all these people out there, if there still will be a bull market, and what would be your answer to that?
Wow. So yeah, I mean, do you guys think we already had a bull market? Because we went from 15K to 60, 72, 74K. Was that the bull market in your opinion? I just want to hear your thoughts on it.
Honestly, Jip, who's now currently, well, I'm saying this more often in the podcast. He's on a Spanish island somewhere,
Chilling.
chilling. What was it? Ibiza, I think. Yeah. Anyway, he said, yeah, he never went through the real bull market. You just wake up and your whole portfolio is through the roof again. But now you hear things, okay, that the market is way too diluted. It's all those shit coins. It's a problem because there's too much out there to invest in to pump it all. But you also hear people say, and rightfully so, look at what Bitcoin did last year. You just didn't want to go into Bitcoin. So I honestly don't know. I'm still in search of this, but I'm not hoping for anything anymore. I'm just, I sort of came to you just said something about drawing up conclusions for yourself. I think I'm leaning very much towards the same conclusions. More quiet, higher time frame. It's well, not to detach from it.
No.
With an occasional, of course, meme comma on the side. But okay, but that's for us. It's research, right? It's content. Yeah, but a real bull market, I don't know. Don't care actually.
It happens.
It's
Yeah.
a difficult question because nobody knows the rules when to determine if it's a bull market.
Yeah.
You read about it, you see some suggestions what a bull market means, but nobody has any rules laying around saying, all right, we go at 20 times or 30. Now it's a bull market.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult question.
I mean, it happens, and indeed, like Jip says, you miss it very fast, right? Like you're in it, you see your portfolio going up, you think it's gonna go higher, and then someday the market goes down. It's like, oh man, this is just is a small dip,
Yeah.
not knowing that was the last top, and now we're back in a bear market. It same happened, of course, in 2021. Same happened in 2017. It happens so fast. But if you look at the data, you would see that this growth that we had from 15K to 70K was actually pretty normal. Like it happened like in every last halvings. Right now we're in terms of in the times of consideration, right? So it goes back and forth. You see Bitcoin ping pong between certain levels, and at some point people tend to believe that indeed we will break the resistance, we will break the barrier on the upside, and we will go through new heights. Maybe it's when a new president is elected. Maybe it's when the interest rates will drop because a new president is elected and everyone wants to start with a bad economy. Maybe those will be the factors. I've checked the data yesterday, and summers are mostly very boring times. I think with all the trading firms, also in options or in stock trading, people want to cash out some profits. People will go on holiday. So I don't really believe something will happen in the summer. It happened once, actually in 2019. The Bitcoin went to 14K during the summer, and then it went back down. But I want to believe that it will happen with the new elections coming up and U.S. economy getting a new pump. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, and then the ETH spot approval. What will bring that to the market? Just
You
questions that
saw it last time, right? There was a small approval, and bam, the Ethereum price went up, and still relatively higher than the Bitcoin is. But I really hope for Ethereum that will also go up. I mean, Ethereum has had a fantastic run, but of course with the gas fees, it's actually it's pretty expensive for new projects. That also, of course, also why Solana went up so high. So I do hope for the Ethereum back holders that Ethereum will get a new shot at it and raise in price. But I think that having a higher Ethereum price and so many, the gas fees so high, it will not affect in a good way the new projects.
Yeah.
Uniswap and all.
Let's see. Apart from a business developer, you're also, really someone who has, has been in the trenches, and I can see it basically from your whole attitude, from your eyes who speak. Okay, I've been there, and I think that's fascinating. So maybe we should invite you back at some later point, to talk more about your trading days. But today we invited you mostly to talk about the whole FUD on banning Tether part. So many. Just to be 100% sure, if I open up my Bybit app on, let's say, July 5th, I can still trade Bobcat to USDT. And up in the months afterwards, all the legal people are going to see into what happens up until this December. What's going on, right? Do I summarize it correctly?
Yes, it will be public information for everyone to see which stablecoins will and will not go through with the new regulations. Bybit also assured me that indeed we will inform the users months in advance what will happen. I can also assure you that there's a whole team on it, and for now there's nothing to worry about. It is nice to also have some fun from time to time, but let's keep it chill and let's just enjoy the sun.
So we do not need to convert our USDT bags into USDC or cash out.
Well, of
all
course
that
you
kind
can.
of stuff.
You can, of course, right? Put it in different stablecoin, but it's totally up to you. But for now, there are no points of actually having to convert something. Yeah.
Okay, it's a reassuring scoop, but still a scoop nonetheless that there is this clarity. Thank you very much for coming to Amersfoort, and
Thanks.
up to the next one.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good stuff. Hi guys. Are you using Bright Funded and are you struggling to take partial profits on your positions? That is correct because their system doesn't allow it yet. But let me fill you in on a very easy and small hack that we're using. Basically, on this near position you can see it. If you're entering the order and if you want to take 2 or 3 TPs, cut the full position into 2 or 3 batches and give those batches different TPs. That's how we do it, and it works super easy, and we have our peace of mind once the orders are hit and they are running. Or alternatively, while you're on the go, you can set a trading view alert, and if you get that trigger, go to your Bright Funded app, which is super relevant, super easy. Just go there and modify or close your position accordingly on your app while on the go. I rather focus on those solutions and enjoy the very nice profits that I still do not have on my personal account. And guys, just enjoy life. Go check it out. Bye bye.